Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Weissoon. If you enjoy real-world hunting and fishing talk, you're really going to enjoy listening to my good friend Luke Clayton and his guest for the next hour.
This is Dustin Vaughn Warnke, producer of this fine show that's been airing for the past 20 years. Welcome to Outdoors with Luke Clayton and Friends. Luke has been a recognized outdoor writer for the past 4 decades and writes for a whole host of outdoor publications. Luke pens a weekly outdoors column that appears in over 50 Texas newspapers, and he's lived the outdoor lifestyle since childhood. Luke partners with such companies as Pyramid Air, the ultimate source for air guns and outdoor essentials, CVA muzzleloaders, and their fine line of CVA Cascade centerfire rifles, Smoke and Tex electric smokers, ATN thermal scopes and binoculars, the Choctaw Hunting Lodge in southeast Oklahoma, owned by the Choctaw Nation, Butcher Packer Supply, everything for the home butcher and sausage maker, the Dalla Safari Club at biggame.org, and the Saskatchewan Department of Tourism. Now, here's Luke to kick things off with his longtime friend, Larry Weissoon.
Thank you guys for that nice introduction. And folks, I am here with Mr. Larry Weissoon. We've got a busy day planned. Larry's going to tell you a little bit about that. We're in Grapevine, Texas, the Dallas Safari Club expo here, the summer get-together. Larry, are we going to have fun today or what? I know we are.
Absolutely, Luke. We really are. And this may be a little bit of a sharp one because this morning I have got to MC the Life Member Appreciation Breakfast at DSC. And, of course, DSC is going on. DSC Summer Show started actually Thursday afternoon, and it's going to be open all day today, I think until about 6 o'clock this afternoon. And then on Sunday, it's open until 3 o'clock. You can get a day pass. There's a lot of free day passes floating around and as well, too. So great show, man. Over 400 booths. People have been in here with smiles on their faces and all those kind of good things. I've had a chance to visit with a lot of different people, and tonight we're going to award Mr. Steve Hornady the Legacy Award that we have set up through the DSC Foundation. And, of course, too, tonight is our grand auction as well. And people can still go there and bid on all kinds of different things by going to onlinehuntingauctions.com and looking up the DSC Foundation logo. And some unbelievable items going up for sale tonight. So all that going on, great fun. All that kind of thing. Stealth Vision is here. They've got a booth set up, and I've been visiting with Doc and Joe, and oh my gosh, I ran into a couple of guys from Taurus, and of course DSC is here, and Hornady is here in force, if you will, Steve and Jason and both father and son, and then also Neil Davies handles all their marketing department. So great opportunity to visit with all those guys as well too. And then we've got Bobby Winfrey's got a booth here with Agara as well too. So I've been sipping on that Agara coffee this morning, trying to keep the voice up, trying to keep my energy level up, and try to get ready for the rest of the day.
You know, Larry, of course we've talked about this, but Bobby Winfrey with Agara coffee came out to the house about a couple weeks ago, and we actually that's when I was introduced to the Agara coffee. We sat out there and drank some coffee, and we actually filmed a little segment for our TV show, A Sportsman's Life. I think it's probably already there now. I'm not sure, but if it's not on this current show, it's probably already there. Yeah, but no, I will mention this Agara coffee. It's there's a lion's mane. I've heard about it many years. I've got family members that's taken that, but it's got lion's mane in it. Gosh, it's got green coffee bean, lotus leaves, all kind of stuff that's good for you. That's good for your brain. And I'll swear I actually drank 2 cups of that out there with Bill, and I'm not kidding you. It wasn't all psychosomatic or whatever. That stuff is really good. It does something to. Well, he told me the first time he drank it, it cleared the fog, and it does not give me jitters or anything like that. It's just a calming effect. I like it. So folks let me see if I can get this straight, Larry. Bobby'sBetterLife.com. Bobby'sBetterLife.com is the website. Folks, go there and read about this Agora coffee. I think you can learn a few things, and I think you might want to try some. You know, Larry, he was telling me, Bobby and I were talking about this. I have to have coffee in the mornings. I literally do have to have. When I was guiding up in Colorado, sometimes we'd get up early, wouldn't have time, maybe a sip of coffee, climb up there on those mountains, and about 10 o'clock, it hurt, you know, but yes. I didn't have that lift. But this is an instant. You can be bought as an instant coffee, a little packet. Put that in water. I haven't done this yet, and drink it cold. It dissolves right in there. So, you know, I'll never again be without some good coffee in the mornings, fishing or hunting, Larry.
Well, I've been using it for a while,
too,
and I've known Bobby Winfrey for a while now, and hunted with him, and know his background and all that other kind of thing. And when he approached me with this, I thought, I know who somebody else needs to try some of this stuff. So I think I know it works, but you know, they can learn more about it, as you mentioned, and he will be at the DSC summer show. He's here. You know, he's here Saturday and Sunday, so you can go by and probably even taste some of it if you like. And I think you may have a little bit there and get a good supply of it, kind of thing. But you know, all that show has just been. This is our second year, and it has been absolutely fantastic. The number of people that we've had, and the smiling faces that we're seeing, and really is a testament to DSC. And of course, it's run by volunteers, as you so well know. But going to be a great evening for the event coming up, and gosh, we'd love to see people still come out if they can. And you know, it's there close to Dallas. It's our Dallas area. A DSC show until they finally finish that K. Bailey Hutchinson Center, and we get back there in the future.
Exactly.
But great opportunity, and you know, great opportunity too to look at all kinds of different hunting opportunities and all that kind of thing. And you know, we'd love for them to visit with all the different exhibitors that are there. But there's another outfit that you and I both do a lot with, and is owned by friends of ours, and that's Dispatch Hunts. And those guys do a bang-up job. They were busy, unfortunately, could not have a booth this year, but I know that they're going to have a booth in the future and all these DSC things, because they're great DSC supporters on top of everything else. But Dispatch Hunts, and I think you've done a couple of different episodes, if you want to call it that, or interviews with Matt Burgess on that, right?
I have, Larry, and that's pretty cool. You know, as an old outdoor writer, and especially in the fall, you know, people that have waited and didn't think ahead and plan hunts. I don't know how many through the years people, Luke, do you know where I can go hunt this? Or do you know where I might find a place to go hunt that? And usually I come up short because I don't know in October, November, any places that are open. But I've been to the dispatchhunts.com, that website. And Larry, you know, you can fill out a form, and in other words, what you want to hunt, where you want to hunt it, tell about your physical condition, what kind of shape you might be in for, you know, some hunts are more strenuous than others, and they have it down to a science, matching a client with a prospective hunt. So, folks, if you can always call me or call Larry, we might know of a place close by or whatever, but dispatchhunts.com should be on your hit list to call, and check out that website. So they can hunt. I think I was talking to Matt. He said, Luke, we can set folks up from anything from hog hunts in Texas to moose hunts to bear to you name it. So that's a good thing. And I might ought to mention this too, Larry. We're talking about the Dallas Safari Club, the event taking place today is, folks, the 25th of July.
Right.
So I know this this is a little different than just a standard podcast, because folks are listening to us on the radio on a bunch of radio stations right now. But they might, Larry, they may be listening next week to this podcast. So if it's the 25th of July, come a running. Larry, I've got a trail camera, 2 of them actually, here by the house. I get to hunt real close to home. A friend of mine owns some land, 2 friends, and let me hunt there. I've had a trail camera on a feeder that I use for hogs and whatever comes to it, But
Right,
there's one buck. He's not going to make any Boone and Crockett books, but he looks like he's going to wind up turning into about maybe a 150-inch deer.
Oh, man.
He's already sprouted out. I can see 8 points, but I'm thinking. I'm looking. I couldn't get the best look at that trail camera, but I think he may wind up being a 10-point. But I'll keep my eyes on that buck.
I think you need to. We're at least a month away before they finally start. Before they're finished. Right now, they're still bulbous on the end, the tips, and as long as they're that way, they're still growing. So there's probably about at least 2 to 3 weeks of serious growing on, and then after that, when we get into August or middle part of August, they'll start solidifying, if you will, and becoming, forming into true, hard bone, I guess is the best way to describe it. So we've got a little bit more growing time left. And, from what we're seeing, a lot of different places, particularly in the eastern half of the state. And, we've got a pretty good fawn crop. We don't know for sure about what's going to happen farther south in Texas with the screwworm thing. We'll have a better idea there. But I met with all of a bunch of guys there at the Texas Wildlife Association not very long ago. We had a lot of the higher up people who are involved in trying to prevent any more problems there, and they're pretty optimistic about a lot of different things. So, it looks like they may be able to hold it down in that part of the world, but from a hunting perspective over the rest of the state of Texas, my gosh, it's going to be a good year. There's some really big antlers showing up in photographs, and got a decent fawn crop in a lot of different places. So, the future looking pretty bright right now in a lot of different ways.
You bet, and it's amazing. Well, here we are at the end of July. We have August and we have September, and then it's hunting season again.
It's hunting season. You're right.
Yeah, early October it'll be time to get out there, and I know you've got a busy schedule. I've got quite a few hunts that a couple of 3 that I'm really looking forward to this fall. So, yeah, it won't be long, Larry. Well, like always, I appreciate you being with us, Larry. And
always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. A lot of times people will ask me how to connect with your friend, my friend Larry. LarryWysoon.net. There's a lot of ways they can kind of keep up with you, but tell our listeners ways that they can keep track of you, Larry.
Oh my gosh, Luke, we're doing so many different things. I've got my own podcast as well too, where you've been a guest with DSC's Campfires with Larry Wyson, which is available everywhere, the same way as with CATFISH Radio is. And then also we have a video version out now that's available on Larry Wyson Campfires on YouTube, but also on, a couple of different other places. I do a little bit of a short story thing on TikTok that's called LW's White Tails, HITETALES. And then, of course, on Facebook and under Larry Wyson, and Instagram under Larry Wyson, and LinkedIn under Larry Wyson. And so they can get in touch with me any number of those ways, or they can send an email to the CATFISH Radio with Luke Clayton and friends as well too. Get in touch with me there.
You can.
All those kind of places.
Yep. Yeah. CATFISHradio.org, folks. My email address is there. It just says email Luke, and I get quite a few emails through that. But feel free to ask me any questions. You might want to be a guest on the show with us sometime, folks. So
absolutely.
Just catfishradio.org. For the week of the show, you can listen to the show there too. A lot of people, that used to be the only way online, Larry, that they could hear it. But now with Spotify, iHeart, and all the podcast formats, I guess, a lot of ways to watch, to listen. Well, buddy, thanks a lot. I'm looking forward to you getting back up here in Kaufman County real soon, and let's get us a real campfire going and maybe catch a fish over with our friend the Cottons and have some fun. What do you say?
I think we'll probably be doing that within the next couple of weeks.
Well, friends, Mr. Larry Weissoon is going to tell you about the finest hunting optics that we have ever found.
Look, these are called Stealth Vision. They come from Crockett, Texas. Dr. John McCall developed them. They're 34 millimeter tubes as opposed to the narrower tubes, so more light transmission. They have a little green light that comes on. That scope is level because that's when you want to pull the trigger. They have an optional lighted reticle as well too, and a whole lot of other products. And folks can learn more about them by going to stealthvision.com.
If you enjoy hunting, I want to hook you up with Ultramatic Feeders. You need to know about this company. The website is ultramaticfeeders.com. They are a one-shop stop for everything you need with hunting blinds. They have all kind of different brands of hunting blinds, game feeders, parts for feeders. Again, the website is ultramaticfeeders.com. And friends, I've been using Smoking Tex electric smokers for over 15 years, probably closer to 20 years. You can go online to smokingtex.com. They're not one of your throwaway electric smokers that you can find at some package stores. These things are made to last. I've got one that I've been using for, well, that length of time, probably 15 years. Check them out online, smokingtex.com. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed Mr. Whitetail, Larry and I talking. We've been doing this together here on Catfish Radio for 20 years. This is our 20th summer. But let's talk about hogs and hog control. I think you're going to enjoy this segment with Mr. Anthony Tew. Anthony Tew is his name, T-E-W. And so everybody that's around hog country at one time or another, you're going to have them up on your yard. I live in Hog Central in Kaufman County, Texas, and every fall when the acorns start falling and the pears get ripe in the spring, hogs cover me up. And I hunt hogs about a quarter of a mile from the house. So we're going to get with Anthony. He and his wife have a company, and they build a trap that's shippable. You can ship it. And it's not one that you have to put a a live camera on. We're going to let him tell all about it, but the principle of it is awesome. It works. So I want you to learn about it. Anthony, thank you for being with us, and I'm sorry to have such a lengthy intro, but I wanted folks to know who you are, buddy.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. So, for instance, I have a neighbor right across the way from me. They live on 10 acres, and I live on 5. And hogs, there's a lot of hogs within a quarter of a mile. There's a big slough goes through there, and they get problems. I don't have someone to call to trap them. And now I've got a little old, a metal trap. Actually, it's made out of stock aluminum, Anthony, and I can trap one hog at a time. But this system is, you set it up, and it's for the individual homeowner or landowner. They can set this thing up, and once they see how to do it, a couple of people in 30 minutes, and they can take care of their problem themselves, can't they?
Yes, sir. Me and my wife can set it up very easily in 30 minutes. An individual can set it up, just may take you a little longer.
Yeah.
10 T-posts and 10 ground anchors that support the post, and then we've come up with a screw-in anchor that you can just run in with a battery impact is the one we sell with a trap. I mean, you could use about any kind of ground anchor you wanted, but
yeah,
we prefer the easy screw-in ones.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And then you just place your net and bait your trap, and we'd leave it in training mode for a few days, let them get comfortable going in and eating, and then you go in and drop your trap down into trapping mode, and generally you'll catch the hogs on the first night, and you'll catch the whole sounder. For hog control, whole sounder removals.
Yeah.
Very important.
It is. I mean, like I do it amateurishly, with a little old metal, box trap. Yeah, I'll catch one. Sometimes I'll catch 2 or 3 little pigs, but the rest, all I'm really doing is kind of educating all the rest of them, isn't it, Anthony? They see what's going on, and I notice all of a sudden there's no hogs coming in my little trap. So this is made out of a very durable material, and this has fascinated me. It's the same material like Top Golf or a golf. Say there's a golf range right by a highway or something. This high netting that keeps the golf balls from falling onto the motorist or whatever. That's basically the type material, right?
Yes, sir. It's baseball size netting. Little bit bigger hole than the golf netting, but yes, sir. We've been in the netting business, Top Golf structures, Top Golf like structures, and other structures. For over 30 years. So very, very big in the netting business.
Yeah, and then
and designed the hog trap.
Yes, sir. Then y'all are hunters, and you said, "Hey, wait a minute. This same material would be. I have a feeling it would last for years. Out in the elements, probably.
We use very high quality solid core rope. We everything's made. We make the traps by hand ourselves. Right here they're made in Florida.
Yep. Yeah.
Woman-owned company. Right here at home. We're just the same people that everybody else are, and we're just making a hog trap.
That's it.
Trying to help everybody.
And a good one. But I do know there's a need for this. I mean, I've written a couple of books about hog hunting, and I was a hog hunter way before it became the thing. I mean, to me, I have no problem with ARs on open fields, blasting away at running hogs. That seems to be the thing to do nowadays. But I'm not knocking that. That's one way to kill hogs, and we gotta control them. But I mean, I'm back to the era of patterning hogs and hunting them, and I still do. I use the thermal, ATN. Thermal at scope at night with a little 223, but when the hogs come in, Anthony, I'm looking for that fat shote that might weigh 125 pounds. I'm kind of a meat hunter, but these traps. So I've had there's other ones like that have been around a while, but not like this one with this kind of material. That much I do know. So they're T-post in a circle. Folks, and we're going to give you a website here where you can really look at these traps. But see if I get this right, Anthony. It's basically you could lay out a radius point and swing it around and drive these T-posts in, and then you attach the netting to it, and you said get it in kind of test mode, but then you actually, what's the diameter about? How across this?
It should be 22, 24-ish foot across. Yeah. It's a 60-foot diameter circle.
Okay, good.
So whatever the radius of a 60-foot circle is.
Yes, sir, right. Well, okay, so then you get it out, you get your T-post out, and you attach the netting to it. Now, here's the part, that's something anybody can do. I mean, who can't drive a few T-posts in the ground and hook some netting to it? I mean, it's made for your homeowner, really, I think.
Yes, sir.
Or your farmer.
We've designed this thing to be very user friendly.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Simple to do. Pull back. We don't have bolts and nuts and all that you have to do. It's pull back and stick a ring over the post and
you're there.
And there it is.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So, but that's the people really that it's designed for is your farmer that don't want to hire or don't want to spend thousands. I'm talking about a lot of money on these, cell phone activated trigger traps, and those are expensive. There's no question about that. They're efficient, yes, but not everybody could afford one or wanted to do that. So that your farmer, your homeowner, me for instance, anybody. Hunters.
I mean, our last set that we caught a sounder Sunday morning. on a small piece of property and that there's already another sounder, but they own another green field, we can go in there today and just move this trap.
Yeah.
Take it down and move it right over there to the next field where the next sounder's already eating. If they're already eating there, they're going to be easy to catch there. So
that they're going to smell that bait, the corn out there, quickly. Now, I want to describe this. So when you get it set up the first time, now the hogs, you can raise it up where a hog that walks up to it, he's probably nibbling on some corn on the outside, but he can see all the way through under that thing, can't he? When you're in the preset mode, yeah.
You pull the net up in training mode, and it's high enough that they can see under it.
Mm-hmm.
They can go under it. They can go in and out and get to feel comfortable, but the net's still brushing them on their back. It's still touching them when they go in.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get used to the feel of the net.
Uh-huh.
And then when you get ready when they get comfortable in it, you drop it back into trap mode. And now I call it a reverse minnow. It's like a minnow basket. If anybody's ever fished with a minnow basket, they push their way in.
Uh-huh.
They root right in. They just take the head, throwing that net around. They walk right on in, and when they get in there, they can't come out. When they try to come back out, they standing on the net.
Yes, Anthony. Let me ask you this one real quick. So there's corn in the middle. The bait's in the middle. Is there any corn sprinkled under when it's in the trap mode? Do you?
I do.
Uh-huh.
I do put a little just to just to get them knowing that, hey, I can go in there. But when I say a little, it's just like a scattered handful or so.
But
that way they do find corn still outside, but it don't take them but a minute to eat it, and then they know it's in the middle, and they got a kernel here or there to guide them through the net. Well, they done been in there eating. They know where it is.
What we're going to do is connect everybody with you. Now here, Anthony, I know people thinking that's pretty cool, but you can ship it to them. I mean, it's material.
We sell a whole kit. We don't try to nickel dime you on buy this, buy that. We sell everything but the T-post. Everything you need but the T-post come in a kit. We sell it in a nice carry bag that it can be packed back up into. You take it out. You don't get it in just a cardboard box. Yes, it's going to be in a box, but you pull your bag out of the box, and there you go. You throw it in the back of your side-by-side, your truck, or whatever you want to do.
Well, friends, all of you that call me, and no kidding, I get quite a few calls. Who do I call? How do I get this? I've got hog problems. Okay, so I want you to go to this website, by golly. Anthony's going to give you the website. Check this thing out. And this is for your homeowner or your whoever, farmer, hunter, hunting clubs or deer lease. Go there and check it out. And then maybe, I bet they could just give you a call too, Anthony, if they were interested to learn more about it, couldn't they?
Yes, sir. We got 844 pig traps.
844 pig traps, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then the website, I think it is www.thepighogtrap.com, right?
Yes, sir.
Thepighogtrap.com, folks. And I thought that's kind of unique. Pig hog trap. Pig is portable interception gear. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's PIG hog trap, portable interception gear.
Okay. All right. Well, Anthony, we're going to get you back, and we're going to give some, in the future shows, and I'll give some hog trapping tips. But I want to thank you for being with us. And leave that number again in case somebody's rolling down the road or whatever.
844 pig traps.
That's easy enough. Anthony,
that's 1-844-744-8727.
Buddy, thank you a lot for being with us. I think you got I know you've got a product that's going to be, very useful to a lot of folks. So we'll get you back again and talk some more hog trapping. How about that?
That sounds good to me.
Friends, this is Luke. If you're looking to refinance a mortgage or maybe buy some rural land or whatever, I want to recommend to you a company that I've had some stellar dealings with. It's Green Lending. Now, you can go online to greenlending.com. I'm going to give you the name of a guy that helped me tremendously, Jack Hamill. And I'm going to give you Jack's number. Give Jack a call if you want to refinance or you want to buy some rural land or whatever. Jack's number there at Green Lending is 440-223-2086. Or just go to greenlending.com and check it out. It's a great company. I had some wonderful dealings with them, and most of it was done online.
Big Sam left Seattle in the year of 92 with George Pratt, his partner, and brother Billy too. They crossed the
Friends, this segment is made possible by Platinum Cadillac and Chevrolet in Terrell, Texas. Stop by and visit with my buddy Mr. Justin Rudd and his team of experts and let them put you in a new Chevy pickup or a Cadillac or whatever you might be in the market for. Also, the Choctaw Hunting Lodge up in southeast Oklahoma. Check them out at ChoctawHuntingLodge.com. Also made possible by Pyramid Air, your one-stop shop for everything airgun related. Well, friends, our next guest is Mr. Brad Fenson. Now, Brad has been a friend of mine for a long time. He's one of the most prolific outdoor writers. If you read many national publications, you've read Mr. Fenson's articles. But he's worked in conservation up in Canada a long time. He's up in probably right at home near Edmonton right now. Brad, thank you for spending some time and talking wild hogs with us today, buddy.
It's always a pleasure, Luke. We do go back a long ways, and we share lots of adventures over the years, but we share lots of things in common that we like to talk about. So looking forward to it. We do, yeah. And a hot topic of mine has always been hunting wild hogs. You know, I live very close to too many wild hogs, I'm told. but you and I have hunted together. We met on the Ranger Creek Ranch years ago up in Knox County on a hunt. I never will. That's where we became friends, really. And folks, Brad was telling me, he's from Canada. He lives, I guess, born and raised in Canada. But being an outdoor writer, Brad has seen all the good stuff that Canada can offer, and it's a lot of good stuff up there for outdoor people. But I never will forget, you connected me with the Saskatchewan Department of Tourism. And bingo, that next summer, I was up there fishing at actually Cree River Lodge, where you just got back from. And Brad, yes, I want to tell you, you opened the door for a wonderland for me. I discovered Saskatchewan and all the fun stuff up there, and I've been up there many times, those fly-in lakes. Something that has really perked my interest is, I guess back in the 90s, they imported, farmers, I guess, imported European boar, wild boar, the same critters that live in Siberia. I think maybe as a meat product or whatever, but bottom line is a European boar or a hog in general is not going to be kept inside a fence forever, and they escaped, a lot of them. And now, Brad, there's a ton of wild hogs in Alberta, Saskatchewan, I think maybe Manitoba too, right? Yeah, that's correct. They called it livestock diversification. They wanted to bring the hogs in to create more opportunity, diversify livestock options, create maybe some unique hunting opportunities. And they were adamant that they could control them, that they could keep them within fences and enclosures and all the rest of it. Of course, hunters and sportsmen and conservation groups warned them that they weren't going to be able to, and they pushed it through, and lo and behold, you cannot contain them.
No. And I have, once in my life, I've hunted hybrid European boar. Now, everybody in Texas or Arkansas, Louisiana, wherever they're, or on our podcast anywhere, wild hogs in general, some of them have the characteristics. I can go half a mile from my house if I hunt a week and shoot one that somebody, that's a Russian boar. But the traits come out in them. But only once in my life I've hunted hybrids, a hybrid European boar bred to a feral hog. And Brad, I can remember I was bow hunting, and it's been probably 15 years ago. A big high fence ranch. Those hogs were a different critter. They came in wired way more than just a regular feral hog. You've actually shot some hunted the European boar up there, I think, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I've hunted them in Alberta and Saskatchewan, and they are quite wily, and it adds a whole new element to the hunt. It is quite difficult. It's a challenge, and that's why they're so hard to control.
Yeah.
I think the thought here is the more you hunt them, the harder they are to get. So.
Yeah, I think, and a swine in general is a very, very smart animal. I always compare a white-tailed deer, fright or flight. He throws his tail up and runs like crazy. But I'm convinced, I've hunted hogs a long time, I'm convinced they can actually, I don't know if you can say reason, but they don't just run. They figure especially if you trap them some, they become very, very smart. So the European boar, just cool looking animals. I think they have a wool. Maybe that comes from being in cold climes up in Siberia. But their hair is a lot thicker, isn't it, as a rule?
Yeah, it can be very coarse, and they do get that under hair or wool that appears in the colder months. But most swine have pretty coarse hair. And you probably know that traditionally it was used for making brushes and even toothbrushes way back when. But they adapt to their climates. So the Russian wild boar had to adapt to the cold and the cold environments, and that's what we see here with the ones that we have in Western Canada.
That's right. And Brad, with your knowledge as a wildlife biologist and all that, you can relate to this, but it's kind of hard for me to. You take any of the wild feral hogs, we'll call them. You catch one in a trap that looks just like a European boar, and you take him up there. I do not think he would survive the winters. How do they make it through? I get it. They can live in Siberia, so surely they could live on, Saskatchewan. But they have to be pretty sharp to. They didn't come from generations of hogs that were, lived right there. So how do they make it through those severe winters up there?
Just like hogs do anywhere, they love to root, and they get into places where they eat roots, even if they're frozen, whether it's cattail bulbs or tree roots. And we do have some that are right in the forested area, but most of them are in the agricultural fringe. And of course, they really take advantage of that, just like a whitetail would. If they can find some crops or grain or spilt agricultural products, it makes living pretty easy, and it's high protein, and it gives you lots of heat in the winter. So, they adapt to find those habitats that overlap, the ones where they can stay hidden and warm, yet they can still seek out good food sources that aren't too far away.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how much truth there is to this, but I've read about what they've nicknamed Pigloos, like an igloo. The Inuit people live in igloos. Well, Pigloos, where they, I can see how this could happen around, water, say ponds or little lakes or whatever. Vegetation there, I've read that they get in there, and there's their roots. I mean, there's their tubers for winter feed right there. But that they actually get in there and burrow in there and make dens, and I could see how that could happen too, and survive some 50 below. I mean, it gets cold at a whole different level up there than what most of us are used to down this way. But for one to just survive. But you answered the question, Brad. What are they going to, I've often wondered on that frozen area for months, what are they going to eat? Well, that would be it, wouldn't it? Tubers and things underground there, Yeah.
Yeah, they eke out an existence any way they can, whether it's native vegetation and the roots and bulbs and stuff like that, or grain and grasses, and even some forages that can be considered by agricultural producers as good hay quality.
Mm-hmm.
There's still lots of habitat out there. That's why we maintain our deer, moose, and elk populations. But the pigs adapt to it as well, and they do quite well on it.
A lot of people, that surprises a lot of people that are not around swine or hogs very much. A lot of times, and I know you've seen it too, they're out grazing in the spring. I mean, eating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, like cattle. And I've had people, well, they're hogs. They don't eat that. Yeah, they do too. They'll just out there. I've seen whole sounders of them up close to my house quite frequently, just out in the field grazing. Hunting them. I've often thought, man, I'd like to hunt a European boar. I mean, I've never killed a true European boar. I've killed a hybrid one time with a bow, but that's a whole different story. How about hunting? I know I think in Alberta, they do not hunt. They've outlawed the hunting of free range wild hogs in Alberta.
Yeah, that's correct. We've gone through some different adaptations. At first, they thought hunters could be a big part of the solution, and some of the municipalities or counties in Alberta put a bounty on them, $100 or $50 for a set of ears.
Yep.
And hunters were bringing them in, but the problem is they'd never get the whole sounder. And you know this, Luke, is when you shoot 1, 2, or 3 pigs out of a sounder, the other ones learn pretty quick how to avoid you. And that became the problem, is the harder they got hunted, the more it broke up sounders or created new ones and new populations. But the learned behavior of these hogs made them almost unhuntable. So they shut off hunting here, and they started a program that's called Squeal on Pigs. And you're supposed to turn in any sightings, and then they go out and try to catch the whole sounder or trap them and snare them, or even send in some sharpshooters at night where they can try to eliminate the whole sounder at a time. And they've actually kept pretty good data on all this stuff, and their success rates of taking down a whole sounder have increased quite a bit. So you could probably talk to this more than I can, but hunting certainly plays a role in that hog behavior and how huntable they are.
No question. As much as I love to hunt hogs, you're exactly right, and they're exactly right, in my opinion. You go out, and I've watched them a lot. You go out, you've got a sounder coming in to a feeder, and I've become very it's almost like going to a meat market now with me. I'll check my trail camera when there's some what I call gilts, younger sows coming in that I want to eat. I'll pick one out and shoot it. And maybe they've come in every night at between 8 and 10 o'clock every night, and then I shoot one. I check that camera. You almost always, it might be a week before the rest of them come back in, so they're very sharp. Brad, we need to take a break. I want you to come back. There's so much to talk about. And I know when I first discovered Canada and all the fun stuff up there, I was full of questions. I asked you a lot of them, but let's come back and talk some more. How about it?
Sounds great.
All right, buddy. Folks, let's take a little break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk some more about hogs and fishing up in Canada and some fun stuff, so stay with us. Folks, I want to tell you about one of my long-term partners, and that is Pyramid Air. The website is pyramayd.com. They're a one-stop shop for everything airgun related. Big bores, little bores, PCP guns, springers, you name it. All different brands, some great airgun supplies, but also a whole lot more. Archery, ammo, optics, shooting and outdoor gear, action sports, all this stuff can be found right there and ordered through Pyramid Air. So remember, go online to pyramayd.com.
The snowflakes fall as winter comes, and time just seems to fly.
Friends, I've been shooting and hunting with CVA muzzleloaders a long time. They are, in my opinion, the best muzzleloaders on the market. But did you know CVA also makes a very fine line of centerfire rifles, built to last and super accurate. Been hunting with those for several years. Check them both out, the muzzleloaders and the centerfires, online at cva.com. Folks, I want to introduce you to some good friends of mine at Dash for Cash Pawn Shop in Seagoville, Texas, located at 133 Hall Street. The phone number is 972-287-3121. Go by there and talk with Gary or Randy, the owner. They're great people. They've got some great prices. Again, that's the Dash for Cash Pawn Shop, Seagoville, Texas, 972-287-3121. Well, friends, we are back with a good friend of mine, Brad Fenson, up in Canada. He's up in Edmonton, I bet you, right now, in Alberta, near his home. And Brad, you just got back from Cree River Lodge. You know, you might not remember this, but thanks to your introduction to Pat and those guys up there, that was my first time to come to Saskatchewan to fish. I will never, ever forget that. I've been back, I think, 5 times, you know, and I try to help out with the Saskatchewan Department of Tourism and introduce mostly Texans to all the fun stuff up there, but Cree River, that place, I caught a pike, and you know I forget exactly how long that pike was. He was about 50 inches long, Brad. You know.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You remember that one? I don't know if it's 51 or 50. It doesn't really matter. But it was. I got hooked on pike fishing right there, and I've never caught one that big since then. I did catch one at a Squatican lake up there that was like 49 inches. But Cree River is known for big for trophy class northern pike, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They grow big pike. They have unique habitats with lots of flowing water. It sort of regulates the temperature more than other lakes, especially in the summer. And we find those big pike in all the different water levels. You know, we caught some this week in as shallow as 2 feet of water.
Oh, man.
And this, you know, once the summer comes, most people have to go 20, 30, 40 feet deep to find those big old pike. But because of the unique habitat and conditions there, they do stay shallow. They're well dispersed, and you never know when you're going to hook into that fish of a lifetime. I
remember that big one. I'll never forget that thing because I actually hooked a walleye, maybe I don't know, 15-inch walleye, and the pike. We got some really good pictures. Phil Zimmerman, that was with me. That's my daughter's father-in-law. He was the cameraman on that deal, but he got pictures of that pike coming up with 2 bites out of his body. I mean, just like you took 2 chunks. But I was thrilled on that thing. But you're talking about fighting, and something else that I've learned since those early years, those smaller pike, you know, they're excellent eating. I mean, to be frank with you, I just soon eat those as walleye. Those smaller, but there is a trick to cleaning those pike, isn't it? I mean, I haven't advanced because I haven't practiced enough, but you guys, y'all can rip through one of those and turn them into just snow white fillets. And there's a few extra little feather bones in those things, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some wide bones, but when you take them out, pike is an excellent eating fish.
Yeah.
It's nice and firm, white flesh. And, you know, I think that's one of the allures of going to a place like Cree River Lodge is shore lunch.
Oh, man.
I don't think I'd want to go up there and miss it. It's part of the trip, part of the adventure, and it's a special part of each day.
It is. The shore, you'll pull up on an island, folks, and if you've ever been up there, you know all this, but the way it is at Cree River, the guides will have a predetermined spot there and a little camp set up there, some, you know, firewood and everything. I remember trying to think there was I don't know what, maybe he was a Cree, an older gentleman. He was 70. Yeah. What was his name?
Johnny. Yeah, John.
John was 70. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, this has been years ago. He was up in his 70s. I almost hate to ask, but I would imagine he's probably not guiding these days. I don't know.
He's not. He's still around, and he still likes his pike and his whitefish and other things. So he does still get out a little bit, but age is catching up with him, and he spends a lot more time at home than he does on the boat. And I fished with his sons too. They were guides there. Real quick, I was fishing near an island, Brad, with him, with John, and
I was talking about hunting, of course, and a moose, and he was fascinated. He did not talk very much. He said, "We killed moose right here on this island." I said, "No, you're kidding me. When did you do that?" "Last summer, And I said, "Summer?" Of course, they can, First Nations people up there, they can do that, I guess. And anyway, he said, I said, "How did this happen?" We're fishing, and he said there was some moose up there, and he put the boys up on the island, run the moose in the water. And I said, "Then what?" And he said, "Roped him." Roped him. And anyway, they butchered a moose in the summertime. You've probably heard him tell that story, but I won't forget that. But a guy like him, he was up there. He told me that the first caribou that he killed was with the Indian bow that I guess his father made. Little short bow, If you could get him to talk and get him, there's no telling what kind of information he could share,
Right. English was not his first language, but he tried real hard. But it's hard to imagine growing up in that country without a store or without electricity and all these things. And they were opportunists. If they could shoot a moose or caribou in the summer, spring, fall, or winter, and they needed meat, they certainly did, and they know how to take care of it. And there's still some hunting up there in the summers, but late summer, fall is it's a little more common now because people do have freezers where they can store meat and stuff like they didn't in the past. But still a big part of it. I know when you were up there were some forest fires a couple of the years, and that's really changed that moose habitat. There's actually better moose up there than I've ever seen. So it's funny how that cycle of life and forest and everything comes together. It's interesting to watch.
When flying up there, and you have to access these fly-in places by most of them by airplane. Cree River you can go by land not too far from there, and then go by boat. But most of them flying over that remote country, Brad. I wonder, that little speck down there, that little bay, I wonder if anybody's ever fished there. And, it's miles and miles of wilderness, isn't it, still,
It is. Yeah, it truly is. It's quite a unique part of the world.
Well, you're a fortunate man you have, I think, maybe 40 or 50 acres there, and you actually, in Alberta, and you actually have killed, I think you've killed moose right there, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got, on our property here, there's whitetails and moose. We are getting more and more elk all the time. There's the odd mule deer, the odd black bear. So we hunt in the backyard, and we eat very well off our own acres for sure.
That's right. I want to connect people with you, Brad. Folks, Brad is an expert. I'm a camp cook, and a pretty good one. I've been doing it long enough. I should know how to do it. But Brad is he cooks he's an awesome, awesome cook, chef, whatever we want to call it. I've eaten several good meals that you've turned out. But you put all the fish and game to use like people used to. And my gosh, I mean, the food, the quality food that you guys eat up there, those girls are going to live to be about 200 years old. You're the twin, being raised on that good quality food. But you do enjoy cooking and canning and all that, don't you?
Absolutely. We live on wild game and fish year round, and find ways to put it up, not just freeze it, but can it and smoke it and do all kinds of different things. But we are blessed with an incredible diversity of wild game and fish, and
you are,
and like all of it. I was gone for the week fishing to Cree River Lodge, and my twin girls, I was coming home, and one said, "Can we have steak tonight?" Because they all like elk and moose steak.
Yeah.
And the other one says, "Yeah, but then we're going to have duck on Sunday." So it's pretty indicative of our diverse diet. We've got some fresh fish and elk steaks and duck and all the rest of it. So
you bet. Life at the Fenson headquarters up there. Well, Brad, thank you so much. People can Google your name and they can get a lot of stuff to read. I don't know if there's a website, but how could people learn more about your articles and things like that?
The easiest is to put it in the Google search engine or any search engine with my name and the topic. So whether you want fishing or waterfowl or big game or a specific species or cooking or information, there's an awful lot of information on that internet.
Okay. Well, Thank you a lot for being with us, Brad. And we'll talk off the air some. I cooked a dish called coubillon out of catfish recently, and that's one. If you haven't prepared, I think it would be real good with pike too. So I might want to share that recipe with you here. But thank you again for being with us, and maybe get back here before long. And there's so many topics that I can quiz you on. I know enough about it to ask the questions and get you back and visit with everybody. How about that?
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, Luke.
Friends, I hope you've enjoyed our show. You know, this is our 20th year to be doing Catfish Radio, and I enjoy doing it now probably more than I did when I first began. It's lots of fun every week. But I want to tell you about a destination, one of my favorite destinations, and it's the Choctaw Hunting Lodge. It's up in southeast Oklahoma, maybe an hour north of Paris. I don't think it's that far, but it's an awesome place. You can go online to ChoctawHuntingLodge.com and check it out. Beautiful lodge there, trophy deer hunting on thousands of acres of Choctaw tribal land up there. It's just, if you ever go up there, you will return. A lot of eastern turkey in that part of the country, and probably our closest destination for many Texans to have a real chance to kill an eastern turkey. So that's got that going on. Exotic hunting, hog hunting. If you're an outdoor person, you'd love a visit there at the Choctaw Hunting Lodge. Folks, we are out of time. Make sure and tune in next week and be safe in the outdoors.